Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Sветlana Sергеевна Garkúša and I am an English teacher of Lyceum number 49 in Kaliningrad. And it's time to study. Today I'm going to give culture and writing lesson on the topic See it to believe it, mainly for the ninth formers but only for those who love learning English. I hope our lesson will be enjoyable, productive, and helpful. There is much to do. So, let's get started. In a dark, dark wood, there was a dark, dark house. And in the dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark room. And in the dark, dark room, there was a dark, dark chest. And in the dark, dark chest, there was a dark, dark shelf. And on the dark, dark shelf, there was a dark, dark box. And in the dark, dark box, there was a ghost. It's simple children's rhyme, gives you an idea what our lesson will be about today. Yes, you are right. About stranger and mysterious things, about castles and ghosts. We will revise topic vocabulary. I will invite you to take a tour around British castles. We will read a ghost story called The Hands. Have you ever heard about the Canterville ghost? If not, you will find out what it is. We are going to write an electronic message. And finally, you will be given the quiz. You should be very attentive and active during the lesson because first 5 students who will answer the questions right and send them to my email address will get nice presents from me. It should be done today, on the 9th of December. So, follow me. The first task is a game, 2 truths and 1 lie. You should guess what is true and what is false to know me better. Read the following statements and guess. Okay. The first and the third statements are true. Actually, I have visited more than 10 castles in many European countries, such as England, Ireland, Germany, Poland, Malta, and of course Russia. Honestly speaking, I don't enjoy watching horror movies. I find them frightening and they keep me in suspense. The second one is partly false because I visited the Tower of London last year, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I didn't see any ghosts there. So let's move on. So what comes to your mind when you hear the word castle? So let's look up the definition of this word in the dictionary, in the Oxford Learner's Dictionary. So, it says, castle is a large building with high walls and towers that was built in the past to protect people against attack. So, what words are associated with the word castle? Ancient. You're right. It's very, very old. Something is very, very old. King and queen, these are males and females rulers of the country. Thick walls, they are necessary to protect from enemies. Medieval refers to the Middle Ages, the period in European history from 600 AD to 1500 AD. Haunted, a haunted place is one where ghosts often appear. Ruined is the synonym to the word damaged and destroyed. Knights. Mind the pronunciation of this word, knights. Knights are soldiers of high social position who fought on a horse in the past. And now I invite you to take a virtual tour around top 10 English castles. As you have noticed, many English castles are well preserved and they are very ancient. Most of them are more than 1,000 years old. Do you know that our Kaliningrad region is rich in castles as well? I'm going to tell you about my traveling to Sharkin Castle. It is located not far from Kaliningrad in Nekrasova, just close to Hrabrova Airport. It is a ruined castle originally built for the Teutonic Knights. The first mention of this castle was in approximately 1270. And it's an interesting fact that Peter the Great, our Russian Tsar, stayed in this castle three times. And it was Alexander Suvorov's headquarters in the Seven Years' War. Now you can visit the Castle Museum and the Museum of Inquisition. You can try the chain armor and a helmet and a dress, hold a sword there. Here you can see my transformation from a visitor to a castle lady. It's an amazing place to feel the atmosphere of the Middle Ages. They say the castle is haunted. The ghost of a small boy lives here. Do you believe in ghosts? Do ghosts really exist? Ghosts can be different: lovely, scary, frightening, horrifying, supernatural. If you ask me, I don't believe in ghosts. But there are lots of people who say they do and tell very breathtaking stories about ghosts. I suggest reading a kind of a ghost story called The Hands. Before reading, I want you to read some words that help you understand the story better. So, lock, lock, awake, blind, push away, sheet. You may copy these words in your exercise books. Lock, awake, blind, push away, sheet. And you should be ready to answer the following questions. Who was the ghost? Where did the ghost live? Why is this story called The Hands? So, a ghost story, The Hands. Several years ago, I went to stay with my friends who lived in an old house in the country. I had not told them I was coming, and when I arrived, they already had other visitors. "Never mind," said my friend Ella, "you can sleep in the small guest room. We don't often use it, but you'll be all right for one night." As we said good night, Ella added, "Oh, and please, lock the door of the bed, otherwise it may open by itself." Well, I locked the door, lay down in bed and went to sleep. During the night, I slept badly. I didn't really know if I was asleep or awake, but suddenly I knew I was awake. Hands were touching my face. I tried to push them away, but there was nothing. I found the light switch and put on the light. There was no one in the room. It was just a dream, I thought, and I went back to sleep. When I woke up next morning, I got another surprise. The door, which I had shut and locked, was open. During breakfast, I told Ella about my strange dream and about the open door. "You too," she replied. "Yes, I know. That's why we don't often use that bedroom. It's the blind lady." "What blind lady?" I asked. "Well, you see, many years ago, the people who lived here had a daughter who was blind. That was her bedroom. She died when she was about 30, and since then she has kept coming back to her room. She always feels the sheets before getting into bed. Several visitors have had the same experience, but she was a lovely girl. She has never hurt anyone." I felt the skin on the back of my neck go cold. Since then, I have always believed in ghosts. Did you like the story? If you can't answer the questions, you may read the text again and get ready to answer the questions you were given before the story. And then I would like to introduce you to Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde is a well-known Irish poet, novelist, dramatist, and critic. He was born in Dublin, in Ireland. His father was a surgeon, and his mother was a revolutionary poet. Oscar Wilde was a bright and bookish child. He graduated from Oxford University. He started writing early. He is very famous for his only novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray. In my home library, I've got some books written by Oscar Wilde. I brought one of these books and would like to tell you about a story written by Oscar Wilde, The Canterville Ghost. It's a story about an American family who move to a haunted house, and they move to the castle haunted by a ghost of a dead English nobleman. This story was adapted for the stage and screen several times, and today you will have an opportunity to watch an animated cartoon, just the beginning of this cartoon. So relax and enjoy watching.
Don't be ridiculous, my dumpling.
But I felt his hands on my shoulders. They were colder than yours.
My dear, he hasn't been seen in years, and my hands are not cold. He is back. I suppose we'll have to sell the castle.
I say she has the most enchanting scream. Peekaboo.
Well, there it is. What do you think?
Oh, Daddy, I think it's just beautiful.
This joint is over 300 years old. It cost me a fortune. Oh.
Who cares?
Well, I do. Canterville told me the place is haunted by a ghost. I said, fine, I'll buy him too. You should have seen his face. I knew right away he was trying to jack up the price. I told him, never try to fool a Watson. So remember, if you hear any noises in the night, don't worry, it's only the ghost. First thing, that almond tree has to go. It's dead as a doornail.
Welcome to Canterville Castle. I'm Mrs. Umney, at your service.
Your new home.
Thanks, Pally.
Madam? Oh, my. Quite lovely, yes.
What is this?
An ancient prophecy. No one really knows what it says.
Look at this! What is it, Mom?
Oh, someone seems to have spilled something here. The truth is that this is a famous bloodstain. Oh, how disgusting! How I really don't care to have a bloodstain in my living room. It's not civilized. You must remove it at once.
I'm afraid that will not be possible, madam. This is the blood of Lady Eleanor Canterville. She was murdered right on this spot by her own husband, Lord Simon Canterville, more than 300 years ago. His lordship disappeared shortly afterwards, and his body was never found. But his guilty spirit still haunts the castle, searching for a piece he can never find.
Okay, if you like this animated cartoon, you can search it on the internet and watch it up to the end. Во второй части нашего урока мы с вами поговорим об экзаменационном задании по письменной речи в 2021 году. В задание были внесены изменения, и вместо традиционного письма личного характера вы в этом году, ребята, будете писать личное электронное письмо в ответ на электронное письмо друга. Вот так будет выглядеть задание в контрольно-измерительных материалах. Представьте ситуацию, что вопросы, на которые вы должны будете дать ответы своему зарубежному другу, соотносятся как раз с тематикой нашего сегодняшнего урока. Итак, написание личного электронного письма. Структура письма должна соответствовать нормам письменного этикета, принятого в стране изучаемого языка. Текст должен быть логично построен, разделен на абзацы. Стилевое оформление должно быть выбрано правильно. Так как это личное письмо, вы должны использовать неофициальный стиль. Это подразумевает использование кратких форм, таких как isn't, don't, I'm, he'll и так далее. А также вы можете использовать разговорные выражения. Конечно, нужно обратить внимание на правильное использование лексических и грамматических структур, которые соответствуют сложности написания письма 30 минут. Я вам, ребят, не рекомендую полностью письмо писать на черновик, потому что вы определенные клише и фразы, которые используются в письме, можете выучить заранее. И только ответы на 3 вопроса вы можете прописать в черновике, чтобы потом аккуратно и суметь проверить ваши ответы, перенести уже в чистовик. Максимальное количество баллов за данное задание не изменилось, оно так и осталось 10 баллов. Итак, написание личного электронного письма будет строго разделено на абзацы. Итак, первый абзац – это обращение. Вы можете написать «Dear John». Обязательно нужно обращение по имени человека, которое указано в письмо, то есть ваш вымышленный зарубежный друг. Обратите внимание, что после обращения ставится запятая. Второй абзац – благодарность за полученное письмо и ссылка на предыдущие контакты. Она может звучать так: Thank you for your email message. It's nice to hear from you again. Обратите внимание на слово again. Этим вы подчеркиваете свои предыдущие контакты. Следующий абзац, он будет по объему самый большой, потому что вы в нем будете отвечать на 3 вопроса зарубежного друга. Начинать нужно с логического мостика, перехода к данному абзацу. Вы можете использовать такие фразы, как «In your email you asked me about», либо «As for your questions», переход от ответа на один вопрос к другому, можете использовать, желательно использовать слова-связки, такие как «actually», «because», «but», «and», «well» и другие. Следующий абзац – это упоминание о дальнейших контактах. Вы можете выбрать одну из 3 предложенных здесь на слайде. Hope to hear from you soon, write back soon or keep in touch. Какая вам больше нравится? Завершающая фраза вы можете тоже выбрать одну из этих двух, либо предложить свою. Best wishes, lots of love. Обратите внимание на знак препинания. После завершающей фразы вы должны поставить запятую. И последний абзац у нас будет – это ваше имя. Так как письмо у нас личного характера, поэтому вы пишете только свое имя, без фамилии. Обратите также внимание, никакого знака препинания после имени мы не ставим. Теперь поговорим об объеме письма. Это очень важно, ребята. Обратите серьезное внимание на это. Итак, в задании у вас будет указано, что объем вашего письма должен быть 100-120 слов. На самом деле вы имеете право написать на 10% больше или меньше на 10%. И, соответственно, с этим проверяемый объем будет от 90 до 132 слов. Если вы напишете менее 90 слов, то есть 89 и меньше, то задание ваше, к сожалению, будет оценено в 0 баллов. Эксперты даже не будут приступать к его проверке. Если объем более 132 слов, то есть 133, если уже написано и более слов, то проверке подлежат только 120 слов. Остальные слова будут вычеркнуты. И в связи с этим вы потеряете и подпись, и завершающую фразу, и, возможно, ссылку на будущие контакты, а может быть и ответ на вопрос. Итак, давайте сейчас мы попробуем с вами написать такое электронное письмо. Итак, вы получили задание на экзамене, и прежде всего вы должны внимательно прочитать задание. Особенно в задании очень важно те 3 вопроса, на которые вы должны дать развернутые, полные, точные ответы. Это очень важно, ребят. Еще раз, развернутые, полные ответы на 3 вопроса. Итак, первый вопрос. Have you ever been to a castle? Do you believe in ghosts? Why or why not? Do you enjoy watching horror films? Итак, начинаем писать письмо. Dear John, thank you for your email. It's nice to hear from you again. Sorry I haven't answered earlier because I was busy with my project in history. In your email, you asked me about castles and ghosts. Well, I have been to Malbork Castle in Poland. It's the largest medieval castle in Europe. We traveled there with my classmates 2 years ago. As for ghosts, I don't believe they exist. I haven't ever seen a ghost and find them supernatural and imaginative creatures. I enjoy watching horror films because I like a frightening storyline and atmosphere. That's all for now. Write back soon. Best wishes, Anne. Обратите внимание, что в письме красным цветом выделены те слова и фразы, которые являются универсальными. Вы можете их использовать в любом из своих писем. Обратите внимание также на вот этот слайд. Вы получите 10 баллов, если напишите от 90 до 132 слов, если дадите логичные, развернутые, точные ответы на 3 вопроса, и если допустите только одну лексико-грамматическую и 2 орфографических и пунктуационных ошибки. К сожалению, вы получите 0 баллов, если напишите 89 и меньше слов, если ответите только на 1 вопрос, и если письмо невозможно прочитать из-за плохого почерка. Обратите на это внимание. Также я вам хочу предложить использовать чек-лист для проверки своего письма. После того, как вы написали письмо, обязательно проверьте его. Итак, чек-лист, который вы можете использовать. Посчитать слова обязательно. Даны ли ответы на 3 заданных в письме вопроса? Правильно ли выбраны обращение, завершающая фраза и подпись? Логичное. Есть ли благодарность за полученное письмо, упоминание о будущих контактах? Логично ли выстроен и разделен на абзацы текст? Правильно ли использованы средства логической связи? Вы должны проверить обязательно грамматические и лексические ошибки. Проверьте орфографические и пунктуационные ошибки. And finally, I told you that you would be given the quiz. So, the questions of the quiz. So, question number 1. Have I ever seen a ghost? 2. What is the name of the castle where Harry Potter lives? Number 3. Sharkin Castle is located in Poland, isn't it? Number 4. Who is the author of the Canterville Ghost? Number 5. What is the largest medieval castle in Europe? Number 6. How many points will your letter get if you write 87 words? Number 7. Can you translate these words from English into Russian? Haunted, scary, frightening, ancient? Number 8. What is your favorite ghost story or horror film? Number 9. Do you believe in ghosts? And number 10. Did you like this lesson? That's all for now. Thank you for your attention. Good luck.